All right. We should be live in just a moment.
I don't see anything.
All right, we are live. How is everybody doing tonight? If you're on mute, just give me a thumbs up. Great, that's great. First of all, this is Jim from Huntley Fall Fest. Bryant is on, and we have a whole bunch of guests on here as well. Huntley Fall Fest, we're still in the perfect going forward stages of Huntley Fall Fest, which is September 25th, 26th, and 27th. We're here talking tonight with all the artists, or many of the artists that we're in our first official all-day 13-hour live fest, a live stream event, and it was just a great event. Huntley Fall Fest again, September 25th, 26th, 27th, sponsored by First National Bank of Omaha. So thank you guys for doing that. Hey, before we start with all the artists and everything that we did on Saturday, I just want to talk a little bit about this Chicagoland Musicians Unite Fund, and I'm going to turn it over to Jim. Are you good with talking first on that?
Absolutely. What would you like to talk about, Jim?
Let me do this real quick. So everyone that's in the fund, if you can just raise your hand on the camera, Carrie, Tisa, Jim, Brian. I don't see
Jeff Kleinschmidt.
Jeff on here, right? I was just looking at everybody. I don't see
Did
Jeff
you get
here.
the-
So,
Did you get the link?
and Jeff is up north, so I'm not sure if he'll be able to get on this call. I'm bringing a couple more people in. So for those that just joined us, if you can go on mute, Eric, and you guys can just go on mute. We're going to talk, Pino, thank you for a great set. We're going to talk the Chicagoland Musicians Unite Fund. So again, guys, if you can just raise your hand just so everyone sees that you're here and who you are when you're talking, that'd be great. So Jim, tell us, Chicagoland Musicians Unite Fund, what's the idea behind it, and where did we get, or how did we get to this point today?
Well, Carrie Devine over there in that probably most amazing 50 cotton 50 poly t-shirt I've ever seen in my entire life. Right when things went down, right around St. Patty's Day, everyone was freaking out. They're like, no bar, everything is closed. And pretty much even for St. Patty's Day, most gigs were canceled. So it was like, I think it was a Sunday. We're both freaking out. We called each other. We had a ton of ideas. So we started big. I like aimed for the stars, and then we kind of like reeled it back in. We decided, let's at least start this. Let's start a GoFundMe. Let's start something that we can give back, because everyone's hurting, especially full-time musicians, extra especially, sound guys, light engineers, roadies. I mean, go down the list. Everybody's just freaking out. And then people started recommending doing live streams. So now we're doing live streams. We're trying to like figure all this out. We're like, let's just start a GoFundMe. And Carrie Devine and I are not the most organized. We're the dreamers, and we needed doers. So that's when we talked to Tisa, and Tisa's like, I'm a teacher. Let me just bring you guys back in, and let's try and do this like structured. So we have an email now and a Facebook page and a GoFundMe. So we're starting to put this all together. And that was the intention. So we teamed up with Brian Kovacs. He started a Facebook Live broadcast calendar, which was just an incredible idea, so that he wanted to keep this collaboration and this unification of the Chicago music scene copacetic. So he didn't want anybody stepping on each other's toes. He didn't want, he just wanted to have it a little bit more structured so that we could all kind of benefit, most of them having virtual tip buckets. So he was already in the process, and we thought if we could somehow combine forces, we could benefit, first of all, a lot of people on that music page, but then open it up to the entire Chicagoland area, Wisconsin, wherever it is. Anybody that's in this music scene, we wanted to benefit. So then Jim and Bryant came along and decided to partner Huntley Fall Fest, which a shout out to them, because they have not only been active just with this, but in general, promoting our shows, promoting a lot of the artists that play for Fall Fest. They've just been incredibly active. I haven't seen any other fest even come close to what these guys are doing. So it was so cool. And when they said, they had the idea of helping us pull this together, we just thought it was just such a cool idea. And then 50,000 views, 24 artists through 13 hours, and $11,000 later, we're in a good spot.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And when you talk about the fund itself, again, it's helping the musicians, the artists, production people, event staff, all those kind of people. And how can anybody get more information from you guys on that fund and how it's dispersed, or how you guys are looking at artists?
Yeah, we've had this question a lot, and it's legit. We want to be transparent. We started because we only had a couple $1,000s initially. Most of the people that were in that broadcast calendar were promoting it, and we had a couple $1,000s raised. So Brian Kovacs just, under the radar, reached out to everyone and said, hey, here's what we're doing. If you need help, let us know. Most people are too proud to ask for help, and we didn't really know how to go about doing it. So that's been the case. But now that we are expanding and growing our reach, we're going to have an application. So on our Facebook page right now, Chicagoland Musicians Unite, right here, there's an application that we created. So anybody, if you're a roadie, if you're light engineer, sound engineer, whatever, and if you're a full-time gigging person in the Chicagoland industry, we want to help you. So it's not just for the broadcast calendar people. It's not just for musicians. It's for anybody that's involved in what we do. So fill out that application, and then we have a board. I'm in the process of making this a nonprofit organization. It's a pain in the ass to get that going. So it's going to be, Brian's helping me a little bit. Huntley Fall Fest is also a nonprofit organization. So I have that and some attorneys to help me kind of speed the process along. But in the meantime, we have 5 people on the board to kind of distribute these funds and hopefully keep growing them. And once we get an EIN number, then we can hopefully get corporate backings and a lot of other people with tax write-offs that can give us money so that we can hopefully help a ton of people.
And you guys aren't thinking that this is just during the time we're spending today, but you're thinking of just having this go forward into the future as long as you guys can be around.
Yeah. And we started out just wanting to help us, but now we're thinking in the future. I mean, now especially there's so many up and coming musicians, and the music scene is just it's constantly evolving. So we thought, starting now, obviously we want to financially help people, but we also want to add, a YouTube page where we can, have booking agents come on and they can tell you how booking agents or festival booking agents can, how do you up your game? How do you polish your electronic press kit? How do you handle contracts? How do you negotiate contracts? There's a lot of, how do you promotionally, how do you put things together? How do you build a web page? Where do you go for these resources? So we want to start right now by just financially helping people, but we really want to expand it out and hopefully have an entity that we can kind of build off of and help everybody, because I've never seen more collaboration than the past couple months. Everyone on the screen has promoted each other's shows, has commented, has tipped, has been involved with. It's just been a really powerful scene. So I think that this can take off and really, help the whole scene. The whole tide helps all ships, no matter the size of the boat. You know what I'm saying?
That's fantastic. I agree with you, and I'll back you on that comment. The Chicago music scene is the best music scene in the whole country, and what I see here with what we did Saturday and what has happened since this whole COVID started is just amazing and mind-boggling to me. The collaborations, the fun, just everything that every musician and artist, and doesn't matter what level you're at, is doing right now for the fans is just amazing. So kudos to you guys.
Yeah, thank you guys.
I do.
We had no idea the response, especially everyone here played for free. It was all to bring awareness and just support for the whole music scene. So that's why these are the badasses of the industry. That's why they're successful. That's why they do what they do. And I'm just proud to be a part of it and humbled that all of you guys were willing to chip in and help Carrie and Tisa and Brian and Jeff and I out. That's just like mind blowing.
That's awesome. You don't have to name names, but up till now, you guys have dispersed some of the funds prior to the Live Fest, correct? I think you said three or four people you've helped out already with the fund.
I think it might be up to 7. What do you say, Brian?
Yeah, I believe so. Our initial goal before Huntley Fall Fest, put this fest together, our initial goal was around $3,000. We were just trying to get to the point where GoFundMe would go, okay, you did it. And we could get some funds going so we could distribute some. And so we have distributed to, I believe, 7 different artists thus far. And that initial round, like the guys were saying, Carrie and had reached out to me and said, hey, is there any way that we can find out who's in the most immediate need? And maybe, the quickest way to do this was they asked me about folks in the group. So I had reached out to the folks in my Chicagoland Musicians Facebook Live broadcast calendar. Yes, it's 6 words. I did it.
Kovacs calendar.
To find out, who all of the full-time musicians are. I mean, we have a lot of part-time musicians, and obviously we know that they're affected as well, but they still have other incomes, or maybe folks that are not getting unemployment. Those are the folks we're looking for right now. So we did give out an initial round of funds, but then once this came up and we said, well, let's shoot higher. Let's see who else we can be helping now. And now we're at the point that we're at.
Great. All right. I'm going to open this up here in just 1 second. Bryant, you want to, share any fun information that may be happening in June, or is that too early to talk about that?
Can I interrupt really quick?
Yeah,
absolutely.
I want to know behind the scenes. How did you guys? I just got off of a thing on a different page, switching between Zoom. Like, how for 13 hours? How did you guys put this together? How long did it take? How crazy was it behind the scenes? Because seamlessly, it almost looked seamless up front. So I would love to know what you guys would love, like, from behind the scenes. Was it just total chaos? Were you guys screaming at each other? Were you drunk? Were you like, how did it happen?
Tim, that's a great question. We're going to get to that in 1 second, because we do have some guests here from Soundworks Productions as well. So let's hold that question. But Brian, is it too early to talk about June yet, or no?
No. I think I've shared the logo with a few people. I think Megan's out there. I think I sent it to her. We're talking about another one. So I mean, like, this isn't over. I mean, I think that we can grow the fund. If we get a good day. I mean, could you imagine what it would have been like if we did this fest on Sunday instead of Saturday, when it was pouring rain? I mean, you had like 300 people. You probably would have had 500 people, or you would have had a couple more thousand people, watched the whole day. So we're looking at maybe, talking about it. We can do one a month, one every a month and a half, whatever, when we're in for the long haul and to help you guys out. So we're planning on another one. Just
Live
not
Fest
13
2 is
hours.
coming up. We'll get details as soon as we put those together. So yeah, if you have any questions on that, just go to the Huntley Fall Fest Facebook page. You can send us a note there, either on the page or in message, and for sure we'll get you that detail as soon as we have it all put together. And Brian, thank you for looking way out into the future and doing that. With that said, Dan and Matt, Dan is here from Soundworks Productions, and Matt is here from Soundworks Productions. Guys, I think there's a question sitting out there for you. So if you can go on mute, I'm going to unmute you guys. There we go. You can go on mute. Jim asked the question. First of all, you guys putting 13 hours together, and in Jim's words, seamlessly. Fantastic job. Cheers to you. I appreciate you.
Cheers.
But how'd you do it?
Matt, I'll let you take this one.
Well, it was it came together really quick. I'll say that. This is the kind of thing that when we're normally approached with something like this, we have a month or more to plan. So it was definitely it was last minute, but I think Bryant contacted Dan and Dan filled me in on it and just kind of got my opinion. What do you think we could do with this? And it just kind of started springing to life real fast. We had 11 days to get it together, and we just came up with a few different ideas, talked it out, hashed it out, and came up with the idea of getting screen captures off of a couple different computers, lining everybody up. There's a lot of behind the scenes coordination as far as emails. I know you guys probably got sick of seeing emails from me at a certain point, but just trying to coordinate it. It's something we haven't done before to that scale. And I mean, with the way things are going in the industry right now, we're just trying to pivot as well, just to keep ourselves busy. So I do have a couple pictures, just like to show the behind the scenes. I think I can throw this in. But it's we had a whole studio set up already, just kind of prepping for this kind of show, whatever it might be. And we this was kind of the first thing we got to use it for, and it ended up working out really well. Just being able to screen capture different computers. for whatever we might want to do. So a computer just becomes a camera when we tune into your guys' stream, and you know, we just pull up whoever's next. And I know a few of you kind of started getting phone calls from Steve when from Soundworks when we realized that, you know, we needed to figure out a way, even mid event, on how to get you guys to start right on time. I know earlier in the stream it was kind of a flying by the seat of our pants thing. You know, as much planning as we had, we were still learning while we were putting the event on. And even with Bryant's input, we were trying to just figure out how to get it to be more seamless throughout the day. And we, you know, started calling people, you know, having them put speakerphone on their phone, just counting down, you know, and Steve would count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And then with a 15-second latency on Facebook, we would listen in, wait for our, you know, to hear Steve saying that, and as soon as he said one, then we would switch to that live. And so I mean, there's so much to it. It's definitely a kind of a complicated setup, but it was really cool to get the opportunity to be able to you know, come up with something like this, because it's certainly something we just kind of had to pull out of nowhere and make it work. And it was a lot of
You
fun.
guys
You
had
know, it's a lot
11
different
days.
than
I mean, you had 11 days.
Yeah.
You know, wasn't that long enough to get this thing put together?
yeah, you'd think so. Yeah, you'd think so,
Dan,
but it's go ahead.
Dan, I also want to ask you a question. Let alone on the side of Soundworks Productions, you also started a new company. Is this part of that new company, and what's the name of it?
Yeah, this is definitely part of the new company. We started Vantage AV earlier this year just because we do a ton of corporate work. Soundworks is more of the concerts and festival side, touring side of the business we do. Vantage is all corporate work, kind of describes a little more of the AV world we do. And we've started the studio called Vantage Connect, which is what we were using to do this. We're selling that as, you know, live meetings and conferences and trade shows and whatnot, or virtual, I should say, trade shows and whatnot. So it's all part of the new world that we're in right now, and hoping it doesn't stay that way too long, because it's not as fun doing it through the computer.
Yeah, no, but you guys did a great job. And, you know, to the point that I'm sure everyone's going to say here, I've worked with you guys on a few fests over the years here and there, and I love your team. I love how you guys work with the bands and with the fans, and how you put a stage together and run it. It's just amazing to me, and kudos to you to have 11 days to put this amazing live fest on. And for all intents and purposes, it was seamless. We had a few glitches here and there, but it was smooth as smooth can be. And I was riveted after every single show, because I was like, all right, are they going to get that transition going right? And boom, it was just spot on and right on time. So it was great.
I think to answer Jim on the behind the scenes yelling at each other or anything like that, other than Bryant, you know, cracking the whip and yelling at us the whole time, I think the most stressful thing that can possibly happen with a stream is the internet going down, especially when all the streams are coming in to us. You know, we luckily have a really good, strong connection in our setup, but just the first act that went on SM6, you know, we had our nice little intro build up, went into SM6, and one of our network switches immediately failed. I mean, it was just like that. Just get it out of the way right away. It was, I think we were down for about 60 seconds. It popped back on, the stream reconnected. And as far as anything on our end that could go wrong, that was about worst case scenario to happen in the first 30 seconds of the first act. So, but that's the unforeseen part of streaming is, you know, just network issues, whether it's inside the network, outside the network, you know, your service provider. So that's always the stressful part about live streaming for sure.
Did you guys know we did a quick Zoom with just Brian and Jim afterwards, just to kind of help along the logistics. But I didn't know that for Facebook Live you can only broadcast 8 hours. You can't go longer. Which this was a 13-hour festival. Did you guys know that ahead of time, or did you just figure that out as it was?
We didn't.
Yeah, we figured that out right when Facebook told us
know
you're coming up on 8 hours.
Yeah, that was just an oversight. We tend to use Vimeo, YouTube, a lot of different services. We don't stream to Facebook Live just in our corporate side of things a whole lot. So, and nor do we stream for 13 hours very often. So, That I think it was about 5 to 10 minutes leading up to the 8 hour mark. I kind of noticed it on the stream health page, and I mentioned it to Bryant, and he spun into action to figure out how to copy and paste the titles and repin comments and everything. And I threw on a mic and just decided to go on camera, which is not something I normally do. So that was definitely a last minute. Let's figure out how to get people to the new stream for sure.
Yeah, that's great. And Jim, that happened right before your set. So it was kind of one of those, all right, let's shut down. We're in between acts right now. Let's shut down.
I'm very
and bring you
aware.
back.
I was like 300. There was 300 people consistently viewing from 11 a.m. to midnight. It's insane.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, Jim and Justin are going to rake it in big time. Oh, 8 hour cutoff. Okay, we'll start from 1. Okay. That's like a normal show.
Well, I felt bad for Gerald because you actually that's when it got cut off from all the tracks, right, Matt?
Yeah.
And Facebook was giving us a warning, and then we swung again, and then we were out and they cut us off. And then all of a sudden we realized what happened, and then Matt restarted the stream, and then poor Gerald and Camille are standing there going.
Yeah, I think their stream ended up, being able to, when they were looking at themselves on the Huntley live stream, I don't think they realized they were live, so they were playing, and then I noticed right after that, the first song they played, they're like, I don't think we're live, but we're gonna keep going. And that's the best you can do is just keep doing what you're doing and let us sort it out. Just because I think the stream was delayed coming to you guys, but you were live for that whole portion after you started, which was nice. So.
Just a great job on Soundworks' part. You guys are amazing for doing that in 11 days. It's just mind-boggling to see that. All right, I'm going to open this up for everybody. So whoever wants to answer first, just go ahead. If you have any questions, absolutely ask them. But I'm going to throw it out. The first ever Chicagoland Musicians live stream, 13 hours of music, half-hour sets. How did you guys feel going into your set? But then when you were done and you were like, it's done, it's over, now I can watch. How did you guys, what was the feeling behind that?
It was just fun. I mean, it was a little rushed. You got a half an hour and we want to get everything in and, make the announcements we want to make. But then when it was done, we could just relax and watch everybody else. And I mean, our jobs were easy. I mean, all the praise goes to everybody you were just talking about, everybody back in the control room, because that was just amazing. And it
was badass to see the Donner Brothers back together again. I was so happy to see you guys playing.
The Donner Brothers.
Thank you, guys.
Eric, you're muted.
And putting both, Eric, you're muted. I didn't hear a word you said. There, I unmuted you.
No, I was saying, there was a different feeling beforehand. It was kind of rushed. I mean, listen, I hadn't seen my brother. We hadn't played together in 2 months since this whole thing started, and probably even longer than that. So we're trying to get the set list. We're making sure everything's right, and just kind of technical stuff. Bryant called me 27 times, but my phone was on Do Not Disturb because I was streaming on my phone. So then I didn't even notice till after we were done. I looked at my phone and said, Bryant. I was like, oh, shit. So like, I'm so sorry, dude. But, so there was, we were kind of rushed going in. But then as soon as it started, from the first second, it was a blast. And then as soon as we were done, we were just so fired up. It was so much fun. It went by like that. And we had a blast. And we had been watching people all day before. And then we literally, had our phones. We watched every single artist every hour through until it was over after the mayor.
Yeah, I think we missed maybe 4 or 5 people that whole time, just when we had to get ready.
Just when we were getting ready in the shower and all that, but even in the shower, I got the phone on by the sink and I'm brushing my teeth, and I mean we were tuning in the whole time. It was amazing.
If you want to have some fun, watch the actual original feeds where you originated from, like Jennifer. I think you actually said, now I know what it's like to be on Dick Clark, because you got the countdown. They're getting you nervous, and Steve is counting it out. 1, 30 seconds, 3, 0, 3, 0, 10, 0, 9, 8, 7, 6, 7. It's like, it felt like we were doing a TV show, right, Matt?
You were doing a TV show.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was definitely interesting just pulling him in on that, because like I said, it was a last minute thing, and it definitely felt real at that point, and I could tell we were people were like, okay, ready, all right, now go. And it was, yeah, it fell into place. It was fun.
Yeah, hats off to you, Matt. I didn't realize you were this smart.
You and me both, Scott. You and me both.
Matt is the
Usually-
brains of Soundworks. I'm
Very
just the guy behind
impressed.
the scenes. He's the brains.
Usually just
You
the
guys
first
did
pusher.
you guys did a great job, and again, all the artists that were on stage just blew me away. I don't want to put you guys on the spot when I say this or ask you to answer this, but did you guys, as musicians, watching other musicians, do you have a favorite of the day?
Everybody was great.
Everybody.
There's no way you could physically choose anybody because everybody was so unique, so
Right.
different.
Yeah.
Every single person had their own. It was like insane. It blew me away. Every single person blew me away in so many different ways. The song choices, everything. I think everybody was awesome. There's no way I could choose a favorite. No way.
I can't choose a favorite, but I will say that Megan, your performance
Yes.
blew me
Oh, yeah.
away.
Amazing.
Like
Yeah.
I was not expecting that. And I couldn't, I was like, oh my, she needs to do this every week. Like you need to have like a weekly,
Yeah.
you know,
If only there was a calendar she could join.
Sunday fun day with Matt.
something. I was like singing with every damn song that I'm like, this is, I don't even have kids. And I'm like, this is amazing. Like, this is like, God, it was so good. So that's my one breakout. I mean, everybody was amazing. Don't get me wrong. I
On the back.
loved every single act, but Megan was the standout for me where I was just like, holy crap.
Carrie was pretty amazing. Carrie Divine, holy wow. That was just unbelievable. Live from your bathroom, right?
In the shower, right?
I want
I'm gonna say Mayor Manicana because he's not here.
Nice.
Safe answer.
I'm gonna
He
say-
was awesome.
I've known
Oh.
the Donner brothers for years. We grew up together. And when those two came out, honestly, they blew my socks off. I
They
was like,
killed it.
holy cow,
Thank you,
guys.
man.
Yeah, you guys were you were on
Thank
fire.
you guys
man.
love the new singer.
On fire.
Well, I think all of us didn't know what to expect.
She's here.
And
Don't
once we
tell her,
saw-
Ralph.
I think
What was
once we
that,
saw,
Jim?
we didn't know what to expect, and I think once we saw, like it was consistently hundreds and hundreds of viewers all day. So I think once
Awesome.
it started getting up to us, we're like, oh shit! Like everyone's bringing their A game. Everyone's like, it was 30 minutes, so it's just your meat and potatoes go. So I think
Yeah.
that momentum just carried from one. So like, I don't know, when we play festivals or when we play other shows with each other, like there's just a general like, oh, we got to make sure, you know what I mean? I want to deliver my best stuff because I want to impress the other bands and I want to, you know what I mean? It's just a natural like competitiveness or natural like energy that's there that I want to make sure that I meet that energy and I meet that expectation. So I think 24 of them, you know, just throughout the day, it was just one after another after another. It was so much energy.
Well, after I watched Kevin Molesky, I forgot like the 3 chords that I know. Kevin, what the heck, dude? Nothing like a little intimidation. I mean, like chords inside of chords. I'm like,
Tell me about
okay,
it.
dude,
One
I
of
know
the first
C,
ones
D,
of
and
the
G,
day.
man. Please give me a break.
No, Molesky, they're ridiculous. It was awesome.
Yeah, you definitely
No.
killed it, Kevin.
That's awesome.
I think one of the great things for me, and I said this to Becky, I think all day in all 13 hours that were played by you guys and more, I think there was only like 1 or 2 songs that were done twice. That was it out of all
Yeah, that was
day.
very cool.
True.
So how do you guys feel like, Kevin, when you're up there and I got to tell you, I just love your guitar work. Your picking is amazing, but you know, you chose your set list. Did you choose it going, you know what, I'm going to go into this and do a lot of my originals, or am I going to do this? How did you think about what your set list was going to be?
Well, I know that that you know a lot of the bands that are in the festival circuit, you know, I'm usually the guy that goes early, you know. So if I get to these things and so I'm like, you know, I think I'm pretty sure the covers will be covered, and so I took the opportunity, you know, I'm early in the day. It took me approximately 23 seconds to realize there was a 23-second delay when I went on. That was awesome. It's slightly embarrassing. I'm glad I didn't say anything stupid, but
You did.
maybe I did. I don't think I started drinking that early, but no, I just you know, I always preference my own songs, and then just try to bring people in and keep them interested with some covers, you know, kind of feel out your crowd. So when I see the numbers going up on the watch list or down on the watch list, I didn't know what to do. But I tell you what, I mean, I was second, right? SM6 did an awesome job, and I'm just watching them. I'm like, oh, this is awesome. This is cool. And it was like all of a sudden it was me, and I'm like, I did that 20 seconds ago. Like, ah, shit, this is gonna take a while. But I will say this. I think that everybody did an amazing job. And I apologize, but who did the Disney thing?
Megan.
Megan.
With
Okay.
costume changes. With costume changes.
Yeah, I'm with
She stole my whole wardrobe.
I cried most of your set. So yeah, I have 2 daughters, so that shit works for me. So but, yeah, no, but truthfully though, I mean, everybody was so good, and it was just like it was just like, I think it was Eric who just said it, like you bring your meat and potatoes, you bring your freaking A game. You got 30 minutes, dude. Who has a 30-minute set? Nobody, right? So
That's the warm up.
yeah, right? Yeah. When I was done, I was like, well, my hands are freezing still. And I just, gosh, it was so fun. You know, I mean, I couldn't watch it for 13 hours straight, but I made sure I caught everybody's set, at least like 3 or 4 songs of everybody's set, you know. And my God, what an honor. What an honor just to be part of this whole group. And you know, hopefully we'll all get together again and do this like live and be like, oh wow, you look so much thinner from your waist up.
You're wearing pants.
You're actually wearing pants now.
Yeah, exactly. Someday soon, I will put them on. Yes.
Was there any point that you guys were watching, and Josie, when you're there watching, you did an amazing set as well. Were you thinking, oh, I gotta change my set list up? They did this or they did that. I mean, what was your thought? You know, that 5 minutes before you're going on. What are you thinking?
Honestly, I was just whatever anyone did. If someone did the same song, I was like, I can't change it now. But everyone did such a great job, and I feel like all of us just have to bring our own thing to the table, you know. And if it's the same song, then oh well, everyone does it a little differently, you know. So it was so much fun though. Everyone did so amazing.
Dance Monkey was so good, Josie.
Thank you.
It was really good.
Yeah, you are amazing, Josie. I've seen you grow from like just the beginning of Serendipity, and you've grown so much, and you're a powerhouse girl.
Thank you.
Powerhouse, amazing.
Thank you so much.
Many years of success you will have, Josie. You're amazing.
Oh, guys, you're so sweet. Thank you.
What you know, to help Josie's conversation a little bit, what I noticed a lot was your individual artistry in what you did. Not necessarily the songs you picked, but how you played the songs you picked was just mind-boggling. I sat there watching I watched the whole thing. Becky didn't, you know, she was like, oh, you're not gonna watch the whole thing. I'm like, yeah, probably not. Tune in here and there, but I sat down, and from the second I sat down, I did take a couple breaks, but from the second I sat down, I just watched and went, holy smokes, everybody's just giving everything they can, and it's all for a good cause, right? It's all for the Chicagoland Musicians Unite Fund. So, you know, I get that you want to have that happen, but for me, it was an amazing day. You guys did a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I really, truly wish I could have taken photos with my camera, but it was just my cell phone. So that was a little crazy.
Just take screenshots, Jim.
I did do screenshots. All right, so I'm gonna do a couple of commercial things here again. Huntley Fall Fest, September 25th, 26th, 27th. Some of you are on our stages that weekend. We're also talking with Bryant about maybe adding another day, depending on how this fest season goes. So be prepared for that. He's like, no, don't do that.
Shut up, Jim. Shut up.
Man. But 25th, 26th, 27th of September, we're looking forward to it. It's at the Dyke Park, Huntley Park District grounds. So it's right there off Randall Road. It's just a great fest to be around. And it's brought to us by First National Bank of Omaha. So the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to really quickly change it up, and I'll put one of you on the spot. It's an easy question. Don't get concerned. But as JPM Photography, we've been doing raffles for the last few weeks, and we really appreciate your support. If you've donated stuff to us like Hillbilly Rockstars has and a few others, we appreciate that. But I'm going to have one of you guys pick a raffle number between 1 and 250. First one to raise their hand tells me what the number is.
I'm going to pick 69.
We're going to do a live drawing right now. All right, Jim, what's the number?
I'm with Jim.
Yep. Jim, what's the number?
I was going to pick 69, but I can't. I mean, Ariana just called us out for being so PC, and I don't think we are. I genuinely think there's a genuine respect and love for everyone here. It was such a cool fest. It was so cool to see that on display. And if it was, I'll just say, if it was bullshit, we wouldn't be on each other's, commenting on each other's videos and watching all day. I think for the most part, all day long, we were on each other's videos.
Yeah.
I think it's not PC. I think it's legit love. So I'm going to go with 69, Jim.
Who's 69? Huh? All right, Scott Sayed, if you're on this feed, and you were last week, so hopefully you're on this week. Scott Sayed, you're the winner. We'll post that on our Facebook page. We'll pull one of the prizes, but thank you for buying tickets for our raffle. It's great. Tickets are $1, and you can go to JPM Photography to pull those tickets. So Jim, thank you for that. To your point, being PC or being, collaboration or, however you want to put it, with your other musicians in the Chicagoland market, push this fest aside. I've seen you guys backstage. I've seen you at fests. I've seen you at shows. I don't think there's one of you guys that doesn't reach your hand out to either the band that just got off or the band that just is going on to say great job or good luck going on. So I think what you saw on Live Fest is just a great example of what this Chicago music scene is. Don't you agree?
Absolutely. There's just so much respect amongst everybody. And I was one of the people that sat and watched pretty much everybody's show. And I was genuinely, authentically blown away by everybody. It was so beautiful to see everybody's style. So yeah, you're going to see it online. You're going to see it in real life because there is just that genuine love for each other.
I think we're all affected by music too, and that just gives us kind of a general sense of I mean, we all are feeling people, and we all just have this sense of community. We leave the competition to the sports ball people. That's their thing, right?
Sports ball.
There you go. Sports ball. And Tim, you have been backstage at Trash Martini shows, and we paid you good money to keep your mouth shut. Don't forget.
That's right.
I will tell you that I'm a fan of so many of you now. Like I've like joined your fan lists and like just been I've liked all of your pages, and I just
same here, man.
Yeah,
I never got to see Mike Patterson, and he did a great job. I was like, why have I never seen this guy? Great job, brother.
Yeah.
That's a great thing about this is there's a handful of people I'd never seen before, and I'm like, wow, they are awesome. So now I'm tuning in to all as much as I can to the stuff they're doing every week. It's just so cool.
I think the mutual respect that everybody has in this industry, in this area, really kind of made it very easy for me and Jim to call each other and say, hey, we can pull this off. I mean, there's so much love and mutual respect for everyone, which surprised me. I'm a late bloomer, and I probably haven't even started doing any, I don't know about you guys, but I haven't started doing any festival shows until 2009, and probably not any sizable ones. And coming into this area, I didn't know what to expect. I guess I did kind of expect it to be sports ball a little bit, or maybe some egos and some competition, but pleasantly surprised. It really is. I'm very proud to be a part of this community, and I think everybody has been great and super gracious and supportive of each other.
Great. I thought it was awesome putting the lineup together because nobody cared about where they were. Usually you'd think somebody like, I'm not opening for them. Nobody cared a dang. about where they were.
You
It was
can
so
tell
easy
the
for me
truth.
to
I
pick up.
demanded my spot. Who are you kidding? Kidding me?
Yeah, how
You're
the
the
hell
first
did
person I
Hillbilly
called,
Rockstars
right?
get an hour, by the way?
No problem,
How
Eminem.
the hell did you get an hour?
$20, dude. That's all it takes.
There was this match game that was supposed to happen, and it didn't happen. So instead of having Matt recreate the graphics, and I know Matt probably appreciates this, I just said, you're taking an hour.
That works.
It's actually in Herman's contract. Herman, my drummer's like, sorry, I only play 1 hour shows. I do not do 30-minute shows.
Right.
Then I must be paid by more booze. So I'm
That's
like,
right.
I can't afford any more booze for that guy. So
That's totally jacked, Scott, because when he was my drummer, he would only play 25 minutes.
You're both right.
I'll give up.
That's amazing.
That's funny. Hey, I'm gonna jump to Michael real quick.
Cheers.
Michael, you were second on the list, and you opened up with a set that was just completely happy, positive thinking, and you smiled through your whole set. Was there any moment that you said, I got to stop smiling, or does it just happen?
Yeah. Well, first of all, who had me scheduled after Kevin?
A good spot.
We had a speaker in the back, and my wife was in the garden, and she could hear Kevin playing. She's like, "Oh my gosh, he's so good." And I go, "Yeah, I know."
Oh dear, no.
Hey, you know what? Music is a powerful thing, and it gets people to move with purpose, and do things outside of their normal, capabilities, whatever. And this is a time for us to really shine a light and to bring hope. And so I selected songs that were just kind of like that, that just kind of were positive vibes the whole way. So thanks for letting me be part of this. I feel like I'm part of just a great team. So can't wait to do it again.
It was a fantastic job, brother.
Thank you.
That was great. To your point of being early in the whole night, whole day, was it a relief to get it over and done with for anybody? Were you like, phew, I'm done and now I can just watch? Or were you guys just amped up from the second you woke up that Saturday?
I was amped, and after it was done, I was so wired. It was like being at a real show. Like I didn't sleep until like 3 a.m. I was just so amped up from it. And I was pumped just to see everybody.
We were wondering where the after party was.
Right.
What are you gonna do
I
now?
know where it was. It was at Scott's house. That's where the after party was, y'all.
In the hot tub, no less.
Check this out. This is modern day Romeo speed right
Oh
here.
my God.
Just tapped into modern day Romeo speed.
Okay, that's my mom, by the way. I don't appreciate that. Mom, can you put some pants on? I'm trying to be respectful.
That answers the pants question.
This is the other camera at Jim's house.
Oh my God.
Mike, only half the people on his feet have pants on.
So Scott, your Hillbilly Rockstars were out in front of your house again, or behind your house or side of your house, however it was. Did you have the police show up like you did on your other live feed?
No, actually, the guy that showed up was off duty, and he came just to hang out with us. Actually, of course, 6 feet away, but he was off duty.
Only you, Scott.
Can you prove it?
They had X's on the ground. They can prove it.
True story. You guys have no idea, man. We were getting bashed when we did our first live stream. I was getting like fans like hate mail and stuff, and I'm like, guys, we're really practicing this. I swear, it's next thing we were gonna do was the mask, but I'm like, Sweet Home Alabama. I'm like, I don't know how well that would go over with Matt, with his sound work. So.
Well, Jennifer, you did a great little 33-second little thing that you just moved your mic stand around and showed that you weren't hitting anybody, that you were that far away.
That was awesome. I saw that.
That's right. Got to be politically correct, right? It was a 25-minute whirlwind though. Holy shit. It was hard being last, following all you guys. Not last, almost last, following you guys. I was nervous all day. So great job, everybody.
You guys killed it. We loved it.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Awesome.
Was there any songs that you guys wanted to do that you didn't do?
Oh yeah.
Fuck Her Gently by Tenacious D.
Tina, you're on mute. I'm gonna unmute you. Was there any songs that you guys wanted to do that you didn't do, and did you add them to your set the next time you played live on a live stream?
Honestly, I really wanted to do Luke Combs 6 Feet Apart.
Yes, she did.
You can.
I
Tell
really
you can
did.
Tell
I
them
mean-
why we didn't do it. You can tell them.
Well, you know what? I can't sing that low, so it's not my fault.
Go ahead.
It's always your fault.
Throw me under the
It's
bus.
always my fault.
Well, welcome to the biz. It's always your fault. That happens when you're the last one in a band.
It's
You're the
true.
last one at it. So you're the new guy.
It's true. I know. It's all my fault.
That's usually at Soundworks.
Oh,
It's the
Gina.
shop intern.
Can someone
Did
turn
you have any
Gerald's mic
songs
on?
that
I
you
think
missed that you
Gerald's
wanted
mic
to
is
sing,
off.
or did you?
I'm here.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah, it was great to see you guys back in action again, brother.
Hey, thank you very much, man. I really appreciate it. In fact, all of you guys, when Camille got sick, a lot of you reached out and helped us out, and like Raul and donated some of his tips for us and stuff. And I can't tell you how much we really appreciate the love you guys gave us during that time. So thank you very much for that.
Hey, it's nothing that everybody else wouldn't have done for me, brother. I'm just glad she's up and moving again.
Amen.
Everything's good. And I don't want to go all cheesy on everybody, but I would love after this to get everybody together and record something. Just pick a song and just have everybody come in and do it. Something, pick a cool song, you know what I mean, that you wouldn't expect. I think it'd be a blast.
I'll play the banjo.
Right.
Well,
And do a
Well,
video.
Raul, with
video
that
all
said,
together.
Raul, with that said, I'm gonna throw the challenge out to all you guys. Then you have some songwriters in your midst right here. I would challenge you guys to write your own song. Chicagoland musicians, you guys put it together. I challenge you to do that because I'd love to hear an original from you guys, not necessarily doing. And Tisa, I know you did We Are the World. It was great, but I'd like to see something.
Yeah, something different.
Kevin.
Did Tisa
But I
leave
think-
already? I think she's
Challenges
leaving.
that for me
Tisa
when
had
I'm
to
on-
take off. Yeah.
Like
I
we
think
wear
you
no
guys have
pants
seen
or
when
something
I'm
like that.
on your feeds,
We
and
wear no
I
pants. We sing our music. How's that?
when I'm on your feeds, the first thing I say, or when you ask for what song do you want to hear, what do I usually respond? Give me an original.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, he's always asking. Just as long as we can call the band the Chicagoland Musicians Facebook Live broadcast calendar.
Remember that, Brian.
I just wish Brian would let Hillbilly Rockstars on his page, please.
Yeah,
Yes.
I can't
Hey,
fit
you
that
can.
band name on one graphic. That's just too
I'm
long.
teasing you, brother.
You can. Anybody can get on. It's the whole point was just that we're trying to make sure that everybody has their allocated time. And like I said before, we're not sports ball people. I don't like a competition. I like everybody to have the focus on them at any given time. So everybody gets their time slot and everybody gets their focus on them. So there you have it. But yeah,
No sports balling.
no sports balling. But when I named the group initially, I initially thought it was just going to be for the musicians, just so we could coordinate our schedules. I didn't expect it to turn into what it's turned into, and now we have 3,500 music fans in there just watching the feeds. So that's something that was unexpected.
Honestly, you did a great job with the page, Brian.
Oh, yeah,
Honestly,
no doubt.
It's pretty impressive. I got to be honest with you. So right now, I'd like to book my band for June 5th. 7:30 to 8:30. It's a Friday night. If you could write us in right now, I'd appreciate it.
Hey, that's my slot.
That's Ralph's slot.
That's why I want it, because I know everybody will be on.
I think that's when the switch happens anyway, so they'll be happy to accommodate you.
Mostly everybody that does do the live feeds is pretty good about stopping or ending or or sharing people's feeds and stuff. And I think the community's been awesome for a long time. I think whenever there's been somebody who's been in trouble or we've lost someone, I think we've all banded together, which has been awesome. But this has been a completely different aspect, Most of the time I see all you guys in one room, and some I've never met before is usually at the holiday party. If a lot of people don't remember it, but I think hopefully that's going to be a big love fest.
I think I remember one of those.
I hope it'll be a big love fest and we're able to hug each other by then. So
That's what I miss.
please.
Does anybody notice
I'm not
that?
standing 6 feet away from anybody.
No, I missed. I went to pick up something today from a friend of mine, and my first like reaction, I was gonna be like, "Hey," and I was like, how you doing? Okay, I like, damn it, I can't hug you. What this sucks.
I can't. I gotta have human touch. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's like, come here.
Yeah, when this was
But
all
the good thing is we did get to go to phase 3 at the end of May. So that is praying for us that we get to phase 5 quickly. 'cause
Not
was
only
good
that,
news
but
today.
if they are allowing outdoor dining, that means that musicians can at least have an opportunity to play outside. So I'm it's at least a start for some of us, the acoustic players. Eric, I'm sure you're like calling your places like, what are your guys' plans? Like, what's going on?
Surprisingly, I haven't called anybody yet, but that's on my list for tomorrow.
I literally emailed like the first 5 people that I see on my calendar that have outdoor patios. I'm like, are we on? Are we ready to go? Like, I'm ready to go. Let's figure this out. Cause I'm just like dying for, I just want to like see people when I play instead of.
You're just going to play in the parking lot. You're like, I don't care if I get paid.
I don't care. I will play wherever. I told a place, I'm like, just drag out an extension cord from inside. I'll just plug in right there or play in the corner. It's like.
I actually was booked for a social distance backyard party a couple weeks ago, and it was literally 8 people, family birthday party, and social distance the whole thing, and it was unbelievable. I felt like I was playing in front of 2,000 people. it was incredible. I'm like, I missed this so much.
Welcome to the world of house concerts, Eric.
What's that?
Welcome to the world of house concerts.
Hey, I'll play anybody's backyard, man. Those are some of the most fun shows I've ever played in somebody's backyard.
I love them.
The best.
Well, Pino, we can just make your band even bigger for Fall Fest. We'll just have everybody here play with you.
I'm
right? Yeah. There he is.
I call the maracas.
Gina, to your point, the first thing I think Pritzker had just had it come out of his mouth today, and I turned to Becky and I said, so we can start bands like tomorrow, can't we?
I was like, okay, the 29th. I'm like, okay, what do I have booked? What's on my calendar that I was going to clear off because I didn't think that this was happening until phase 4. So I was like, but I never wiped. I was doing 1 month at a time because I knew that things might change. I wasn't 100% sure that they would, but I just wanted to go 1 month at a time just to be safe for me. So I knew what, and I swear to God, man, when I heard that was the first dates that I have on my calendar for June that are outside, I emailed everybody. And I was like, what are you guys doing? Like, I'm ready. Let's do this.
We can do this. Here's the second one.
Yeah.
Nice.
We call it Live Fest Strikes Back. No.
Revenge of the.
Yeah.
Gonna be sponsored by Corona Beer.
It's gonna be sponsored by somebody. That's for sure.
Yeah, we need to get a sponsor.
It
So
8-hour fest, right?
Yeah, max of 8, right, Matt?
Yeah, to keep it easy.
Yeah.
Keep the sanity.
And do you think it's going to be the same format, or do you think you have a different format that you're thinking about?
I think it would be maybe like hour-long sets with breaks in between. To have like a studio show, I guess you'd say. Maybe 15 minutes in between each one. So it would be, if you go 8 hours, you could do 6 bands at an hour set each. So you could do
I
that.
happen to know a guy that has a studio if you need one.
Yeah. And then the problem that we've got, and Matt, you could share this one, and Dan too, we almost have to avoid tracks just so we don't get booted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all algorithm based with Facebook, YouTube, all that stuff. It's just listening to the audio waves, and it's all ones and zeros. And if it matches up, then they they strike you. So it's when you're playing the instruments and everything, it doesn't pick up on that stuff. So it's definitely something we'll have to solve for. But yeah, we've got some stuff in the works. We were talking a lot on what we can do to make things as easy and smooth as possible for the next one.
And we just welcomed Richard Hofer in. And Rich, you put a show together from DeKalb Corn Fest last year. So was that the first time anybody's seen that whole 40 songs in 30 minutes?
Yeah. Yeah. We're going to do the whole concert, I think, maybe this weekend. I think Saturday, we might do it on Saturday, but we haven't, no one's ever seen that. I've been editing it, whatever I can edit with what I have. I need all the particles, the stuff off the mixing board, and then all the cameras. On the full concert, I don't have a lot of, maybe about a third of the show, I don't have Adam. They turned the cameras off on him. I don't know why, but so I'm going to put the whole concert up. It's like 2.5 hours long. And no one ever saw that before. I'm the only one that ever saw the footage because I'm the only one who has it. And it took me a few weeks to put that show together. It takes a lot of time to go through all the cameras when you have 9 different camera shots to find out which one works. And then we're not using time code, so I have to manually sync it up. It's kind of a pain. But that was good. It's just a lot of work. But I'm used to a lot of work, so it's all good.
Got a couple of your guitar picks virtually.
Where are
those picks were literally falling from the rafters of our warehouse as you were playing, Richie.
Yeah. They just kept hitting the soundboard. I don't know what it was about.
There we go.
I think there was actually quite a few fans that were watching during that saying that they're getting hit left and right through the screen.
You want to know something? I'll tell you. So I throw out picks, and some shows I'll throw out more than I do on others. Sometimes I don't know why people like that. They just grew to like it, and it's funny because there's a fine balance. Because if I don't throw any out, people come up to me and ask me if there's something wrong or am I mad at them? I'm like, I'm not mad. I just wanted to play guitar. They're like, you can't play guitar. You have to throw out guitar picks. And then the funny part is when I was watching the DeKalb show, I was like, I'm throwing out too many guitar picks. I'm my playing is not good. I need to. So there's a fine line trying to find the balance of making someone happy in the crowd with a guitar pick, but being able to focus on playing a guitar. I want to play guitar, and that's why I'm on the stage, not to throw picks. But it is funny that people. It's funny if you go on eBay right now. There's a bunch of people that trade these picks, and if I knew that was going to be a way to make money, I would have at 19, 20 years old sold guitar picks. I could have bought Taco Bell and gas with it, and I'd been good.
Right on. All right, a couple of you guys have new puppies. Pino, how's your new puppy?
Oh,
it is a little bundle of terror and joy as well. But it's been fun. It's just late nights or early mornings that's really where the issue is, But it's been great for the kids. So nice distraction for them.
Awesome.
Brian, Walker tonight, by the way.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I said it was nice hearing you do Butch Walker tonight, by the way.
Thank you. That was the first attempt at that. So yeah, thanks for saying so.
Yeah, Butch is awesome. You did a great job.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah, you play one of my favorite songs too, bro.
The mixtape?
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
It's funny. I'm trying to see who's talking on the screen. It's
yeah, right. I see it. Green line underneath them or a green box around them.
Gotcha.
Want to look really quick? That's who's talking. Usually.
Awesome.
So Brian, you have a puppy as well, although yours is about 10 times the size as Pino's puppy.
Yeah, and I was told today it's going to get to 120 pounds, so I'm in trouble.
What kind of dog is it?
Labradoodle. He's cute, but he's going to be a monster.
Labradoodles are my favorite.
Yeah. No, he's cuter than you know what, but he's
Gina,
he's
you
a
got a
puppy.
Labradoodle, right?
I'm gonna tell Carly
A
Courtney.
Labradoodle. I have a Labrador, just a regular Labrador, but she's sleeping right there. If you guys can see her, she's just
awesome. So I'm gonna throw this out, Josie. I think this happened either during one of the live streams or during one of Pino's shows. Have you guys talked yet? Are you guys doing the collab, you and Pino, yet?
We haven't talked yet. No.
I would love to do something for sure.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Definitely. these
Any
collabs.
of you other guys want to reach out to any of you and have you thought about doing a collab with anybody that you either have here on screen with you or out there in the Chicago music scene that you want to do a collaboration with?
I want to do a collaboration.
Gina and I talked about. Oh, go ahead, Jim. Jim, go ahead.
I just want to do a collaboration with Brian. I feel like untapped talent inside that beautiful face of his, and I want to know.
He's got handcuffs. He's got handcuffs.
You're right. And I do the best parades around.
True.
I missed your birthday parade though.
Happy birthday, Richie.
You know?
Thank you. I'm old.
Happy birthday, Jim.
But for the record, I'm not the oldest person in my band, so that's good.
He's not here, right?
That belongs to Nick Cox.
Bogus. Oh yeah, where is Nick tonight?
Yeah,
growing old.
Eating soup and
How does that die?
He's busy
Nick
growing
is
old.
he's taking pictures of the moon.
Oh yeah, is it out
Matt
tonight?
can
I
tell
gotta
you
do that
about
tonight.
his stream was probably the hardest to pull in because he went somewhere else that day.
Oh yeah. He was in a basement. Yeah.
Yeah, he had a graduation. Yeah.
It was like.
Yeah, we had at that point started having Steve call some people, and I think Nick put us on the phone with his daughter just so she could help us like count him in, and so we kind of panicked, called her to see what was going on with his connection, and I think Steve said that he told her, hey, you're at a birthday party. Maybe there's a bunch of people watching the stream on the Wi-Fi upstairs. So he told her, hey, maybe suggest to everybody, jump off the phones, kind of chill out on the Wi-Fi. And you hear just say, okay, I got you. And then you just hear in the background, hey, everybody, get off the Wi-Fi, just yelling in the background. And we were chuckling at that one. And it started to smooth out after that. So.
Well, it was weird because his streams are usually nice and the background. You're kind of used to the background that someone has. Like with Pino, the background he's got right there all the time. And all of a sudden, you're like, he's somewhere else. He's got that spinning wheel of death.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, it is 5 after 10, so we've been on for an hour and 5. Anybody have any input? Anybody have any questions for the Soundworks guys?
No, just you guys did an amazing job.
Yeah,
That's
thanks,
what
guys.
I mean, watching you guys, just even like through the little breaks, you guys would kind of show your area live. It was cool to see that when you had the little intermissions. But I mean, you guys were there all day and night. I mean, you guys were pretty much there for 24. I mean, probably how many hours were you there for, including just setting up and tearing down and.
It was
luckily there's no
15
setup and
hours
tear
that
down.
day. Yeah,
it's a build.
It was like like an actual fest.
Yeah, it wasn't like we were driving
You
around
know.
a truck at 5 a.m.
So, I mean,
No
as we
money.
got to just jump on and do 30 minutes, and even though it was hectic, I mean, I know when I jumped on, everybody was like, I can't hear you. So I had to jump off. It was like the minute right before I was supposed to go on, and I had messaging Brian. I'm like, I'm going off. I'm going back on. Don't use that feed. He's like, all right. I'm like, and then I wasn't sure if I pressed public, and I was like, oh God, if I did not do it, what would I do if I just started? He goes, all right, we got you. And I was like, okay, good. I was like freaking out. It's such a freak out for a moment, but you guys were just amazing. All your hard work, amazing. And just even doing it for the community is hats off to you guys. It's very honored and it's humbling. So thank you.
I had a
Thank
question
you.
for Jeff and Bryant real quick about just, when we started the Chicagoland Musicians Unite, the donations were coming in and they were creeping along, but nothing hit it out of the park like it did Saturday night. That was absolutely stunning, and I appreciate that. It's so amazing, and I probably speak for Jim Modilla and Brian and Tisa and Jeff in saying that. And also, changes are afoot. We're trying to develop it as we go, and part of that is the application process. I think there may be I think we have a Facebook page now, and we don't always know. We know each other pretty well, but we don't always know each other's personal lives. And if somebody wants to nominate someone anonymously or quietly, or that would, maybe they could use the support from this. That's what it's for. And I would love for that to happen. if Brian, Kovacs, is there a place that they can do that? Do we know?
Yeah, we're going to be posting the link at the top of the Facebook page, which is going to be an application that you can download and fill out, and then it'll go right to us. And again, you can nominate somebody, but if there's anybody, it's not, anybody in this group, any full-time musicians that are watching this right now, this is open to everybody. So if you make your full-time living via music, whether you are, a musician who's doing live shows right now, we got the drummers and the bass players, we got the sound men, the light men, the crew, everybody apply and let us know that you need the assistance. And that's how we can get it to you.
Hey, Richie, you qualify.
Sure.
When this is done,
Rich, you look like you're in a space shuttle right now.
He's
Kids don't pay for themselves.
Star Trek.
It's like a scene out of the Avengers.
When this is done, I'm going to do another whole meeting about teaching people about how to invest. That's going to be big on my
and blacklighting.
It's my
Just saying.
Hey, what's all those splatters on the wall, Richie? What is that?
You're recording. In fact,
the blue light got you, Richie.
In fact, about half this panel I'm recorded.
Hey, Mayday.
Hey, I want to give a shout out to Soundworks for introducing my band to OBS. So thank you so much for bringing that to our attention. I'm really lucky that we got our new sound guy, Craig. I want to do a shout out to him, Craig Laskowski. Thank God he's a nerd like you, Matt. And he did a great job. And no, seriously though, I literally have emails from people saying, "What did you guys do different? Oh my God, your sound was so much better." I'm like, well, Matt does his magic. So thank you. I appreciate it, and Matt. Thank you so much, Soundworks. You guys are the
definitely.
best.
Oh, Soundworks,
no worries, man.
Absolutely. And Craig was awesome.
Yeah, you guys came across well. I was really stoked when I saw you guys doing camera switches. I know you guys put a lot into that. It was very cool.
Yeah, that was awesome, Scotty.
Thank you, guys. Good
So
time.
Matt and Dan, I'll throw this question out to you guys while we're closing up here a little bit. But can any musicians reach out to you guys for help? You'll answer questions, you do all that kind of stuff to help these guys get a better live stream if they want, or better sound, stuff like that. Will you guys help them out?
Yeah, 100%. We started Soundworks back in 2007 doing all the local festivals, cover bands, whatnot, and grew it into what it is now. We do worldwide touring and everything, and started doing this stuff. And, Brian, I think we've worked with you now for like 5 years at your fest, and totally down to help anybody out as we can. We're not working whatsoever right now. So we are helping people out if we can, and gives us something to do right now. So definitely, if you guys helped us start our company, we can help you guys with it, whatever you need. So hit us up.
Yeah.
Matt's definitely the tech guy when it comes to the live stream world. I'm more of the gear audio guy. You guys need to buy anything, let us know. We're dealers for literally anything under the sun. Hook you up with whatever gear you're looking for, whatnot. So for sure, down to help.
There's nothing different from the way that Fall Fest or any, like Richie has them at Elgin Rib Fest. I know there's nothing different from how the fest works than how this whole Live Fest worked. Nothing was off time. Everything was on time. Things were fixed right away. If there was a problem, they fixed it right away. As a team, there was no craziness. Richie and Jim, of old Lenny who passed away. I mean, it was insanity, and this is nothing like that. It's calm and concise fixing and precise sound. So there's nothing to be said other than awesome.
I've used Dan, at Soundworks. I use them at almost all my festivals.
I think I've been working with you, Richie, since 2007 when we started.
Yeah, we were one of the first bands that
Way
we
back
worked
in the day.
together.
Yeah.
And they're reliable. So I use them on all of our corporate shows, all of our festivals. I run a bunch of festivals, so we work together all the time. In fact, I'm always trying to get them on another fest. I'm on a committee on a bunch of festivals, so I'm like, bring them in, because these guys do a great job. They care about what they do, and that is a big thing, I think, in whatever business you're in. If you care, you're over the hood there. If you got that, you're like, most people don't care about their jobs, and these guys care about their jobs. So when I get there, I don't have to worry about power or sound or lights. I know they got it covered, and that's awesome. So I love whenever we're at a fest and I know they're the production company, I'm not concerned about anything then. I just have to worry about ourselves.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah. For me, it's always this has always kind of just been a labor of love for me. Anyways, I mean, I've gotten the opportunity to grow straight into this out of high school. I dropped out of high school, started doing audio, and I've just been doing it ever since. And I mean, I'm self-taught in most of it, but I mean, I've learned countless things from Dan and Eric at Soundworks, growing with them, and they kind of took me in and just let me, go for it. And when I'm behind the board, with any of you guys or so many other musicians on stage, I don't play any instruments, but I feel like the soundboard is my, medium to bring you guys to the audience. And I really do have a lot of fun with that. So I appreciate you guys doing
You're
what you
only
do.
as
Let
good
me
as
do
your
what I do.
sound guy.
Amen.
So true.
You have no idea. You have no
You're
idea.
only as good as your sound guy.
Hey, the band's got to sound good for it to sound good. Yeah, honestly,
Definitely.
I say that to a lot of people, and they think I'm being humble, but it's you guys, sounding great makes my job easy. It's
That's
a lot
really
of work,
humble
but
of you, but a good band can sound like shit with a shitty sound guy, which happened a lot. And we learned that a few years ago. Just to have a consistent sound guy that knows your show and knows what they're doing, because especially for festivals, I mean, every single time you have thousands of people, a lot of them haven't seen you before, so that's your first impression. If you don't have a good sound guy that knows what they're doing, they'll never see you again.
Do you know the importance of that is so critical, because when we play a festival, we're playing to 10 times to 20 times the amount we played to at a fest. At a club. So if we had a bad fest show, that's like 20, 30 bad club shows that you played to all at once. So the critical to sound the best you can at a festival will get people to come to see you in a club, because one good show could equate to 20 to 30 eyes and ears in clubs at a fest. So it's critical to have good sound at a fest. We're never going to have that opportunity to play to that amount of eyes and ears in one club than we would at an outdoor festival. That's why you want to play on the at a festival. And then our responsibility, all of us on this panel and every band, all the other bands that play, we have to do our best to get people to like the show, to come into the clubs the other 3 quarters of the year so they can sustain us economically. That's such a critical aspect of understanding the business ecosystem and having Soundworks be there. There's a few guys, Mark Bales does a good job too. There's a few guys that do really good sound, and having them be involved and help we work as a team. And that's so critical to our success for a whole year fiscally.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So again, we're way over time, which is fine. I'm not trying to push anybody away. So I think Carrie, you said you have to go here in a sec. Yeah, thank you for being here. Really appreciate you and what you're doing with the CMU GoFundMe page. We hope to see you out there soon, and have a good night. But hang loose, everybody, because I still have a couple questions.
Go, guys. I'll see you later. Thank you very
Bye,
much.
Carrie.
Bye, Carrie.
This is for Chris and Kate, but really for Chris.
Oh boy.
Okay, so
I didn't do it. She did it.
you guys were backlit. You were backlit by your windows.
I knew you were gonna totally bring this up.
But somebody screamed that they wanted to see your face. You flipped the switch on in your room. And then what I really noticed was you're wearing a sweater, you're wearing a hat, and you're sweating, man. Take it off. Why?
Dude,
why?
No way, dude. I want
does it all the
to
time.
in my actual environment the way I am at shows, which is disgusting and sweaty. That is what I do. I just know. I panicked actually, and I forgot to take it off. And then I realized that the set was over 30 minutes later. And
yeah,
I
we
was
were
already-
having some technical issues on our end because that was our first live stream, figuring everything out. So we apologize, but it was, thank you.
It was a mystery
Everyone's
show.
set
We
was
were
great.
running.
And, everyone's set was great. There's no apologies needed by anybody. And I'm gonna throw that question out to you guys. Is it because you don't have that interaction right away, you don't have the face in front of you when you're doing these live streams, that you're like, hey, if this doesn't sound right, I'm sorry for that or whatever? Or is it just your gut telling you, I got to make this as best as I can make it? What's throwing you on the spot here, I guess?
Yeah, when we first started, I couldn't really hear ourselves. I could just kind of hear bits and pieces. And that was on our end, obviously. You guys, everyone did such an incredible job putting everything together and getting us up and running. But I feel like once you start, for most of our set, it was just kind of weird. But you just gotta go.
I mean, we had a
And
big.
hell, on our end, you guys sounded great.
Well, we had
Yeah, great
Drew
job, guys.
actually. Drew socially distanced
Yes, he did.
and came over here,
Last
our
minute
bass
to get
player,
it going.
to help us out. Yeah, so I mean, if he wouldn't have been here, I would have been going through the phone as opposed to the computer. But no, it was a great experience, and we're very thankful to be a part of it, and we can't wait to do it again. And actually, now we know what to do and what not to do.
And
So
figured out lighting and not wearing sweats
I'm
and sound.
okay. You guys will see me in a T-Rex costume in the next one. Watch. Do the whole set like that now.
It was
It's
so
all
fun
trial.
though.
It's all trial and error. I've learned so much. Every time I did a stream, I learned something from the last one, and from watching everybody and people helping me too, like Megan, and I have other friends that have helped me out, and Nick's helped me out, and so Brian, and I think you just learn every time, like
And it's
every time.
I mean, everybody says it's an honor and it's humbling, but it's truly humbling when you go back and watch your set, because I don't record our shows. Like, I never watch us, so
it's true.
We're not like, no one's ever watching us being like, this is the most amazing musical performance I've ever seen. We're about the show, we're about the entertainment, and when that's done, we leave it on the stage. We leave those private jokes, the inside jokes, and we go home. That's it. But then these just replay over and over again. So people wake up, they don't even hang out. We stream at 10 p.m. on a Saturday. So at Sunday, people finish their eggs and they're like, oh, Jim and Justin's on, I'll watch them. And we're doing dick jokes and stuff. And they're like, it's such a different dynamic. And then we go back and watch it. And I'm like, man, I touch my face too much. I say too much. It's a truly humbling experience to see. I was so flat on that entire song. Why, it's really interesting to hold the mirror up to what we're doing, not only for what people are saying. And the reach is huge. I mean, we have people, Arizona, Colorado, people that used to come see us all the time that moved away or can't afford to see us or have babysitters. So even though we're not making the same monetarily, the reach is still great. So it's a different nerve-wracking experience to not have the energy from a crowd, but still have to put out the best product. Not what we're about, at least for us. Most of you sound amazing, but for us, it's so nerve-wracking because people are just like,
I'll tell you, this is one of the few times I really appreciated playing for exposure, because we got a bunch of likes on our page. So
it's awesome.
Yeah,
that's
thank
great.
you.
Hey,
Nice. Brian paid us in food tickets, so I feel that.
Fall Fest tickets for the show. That's
I
awesome.
supplied the pizza. I supplied the whiskey. It was a good night.
I was gonna give you guys maps.
Hey, to Jim's, hold on, Brian. To Jim's point and saying going back and watch it, I think I asked the question last week. Do you watch your live streams and do you answer the questions? And I think all of you said yes, you do. Don't try to do that with 13 hours because you'll have to have like 15 hours to go through everyone's comments. But it was an all-day thing. But Brian, to Jim's point, to go back and watch these, didn't you just add all of these to the YouTube page that Office has?
Yeah, we're in the process. That the 8-hour one is what the 7 was it, Matt? Was it like 7:44? That second one, that's the long one. It's going to take a while to download it. The first and the third, they're easy. They'll be up soon. The first one's up there for sure, but they'll be up there tomorrow. So, I mean, I would like to break them into like just each person's, artist's performance. And we felt bad cutting it off, but we had to stay on time, just to make sure that we weren't there till 1 a.m. And make sure that nobody got shorted on their set, because it would stink to do a 20-minute set when you're set for a 30. So.
Honestly, I think I only saw 2 comments about having somebody be cut off. And they were both on the Seventh Heaven video that would happen because they both missed Adam jump at the end of the 40 and 30. And,
I had that thing at 30 minutes, 39 seconds. And I meant to email you guys to be like, hey, I got it down to 30 minute, 39 second. Like I got it within 30 minutes and I edited it And then you guys cut off Purple Rain when the whole crowd goes crazy and it's a huge thing. And then Adam jumps and I'm like, so then people are like, hey, you got cut off. I go, what got cut off? I don't know what you're even talking about.
And then Adam's jumping in the crowd and he's making comments in the feed, which is awesome.
Oh, he was in your feed?
Oh yeah.
I didn't even.
Yeah, he goes, oh, that guy's small.
He is small. Have you ever seen him? Pick him up with one hand.
He is small.
Prove it.
So Jennifer, I'm gonna throw this at you. You and Mark did a set late at night. You watched 12 hours or so of 11 and a half hours or so of amazing music. And people are in the dark or they're, whatever. You guys, boom, right in your face, having fun. But I didn't see Mark jump. What's up with that?
I know, right? I was like, what is up, dude? I will say we did have pyrotechnics that were behind us for the last song, and our camera angle actually cut it out. So we were singing AC/DC, last line of the song, and I could feel the heat behind me, and I'm looking at the camera, and I'm like, crap, it's not even in the picture.
I could see a tiny little bit from the corner of the screen. I was trying to make it out, but
that
we
was
could
our
see a little bit of it.
But honestly, like Jim was saying, like, because you're not in a live venue, you have to, like, every week we're like trying to, like, how can we make this cooler? How can we make this better? More camera, just to make it more exciting, not only for us, but for the audience, because you do have a bigger reach and you want to make sure that you're giving your best and you're all doing this format, so that's what we did.
We did,
except for no jumps.
I love how you have some of your bandmates on your kids' iPad.
I know, right? Well, you miss them, and so you got to bring them with. And we have some fun characters in our band, so I want them to be there, and that's how we substituted that way.
John brings up a great point, and we were right after the whole thing, we had to try and add more to the Chicagoland Musicians Unite as far as like the logistics and everything else. And then we were just talking about the live streams, and when this first went down, 6-7 weeks ago, stay at home. So obviously we were all craving live music. We needed a release for us, our sanity, just as creative people. So the viewership was huge, and now it's getting nicer out. Now, as of today, like, things are going to start opening up by next week. The viewership is going to dip and the tips are going to dip and all that's going to dip. So to Jen's point, as far as like trying to make it interesting, and I'm seeing a lot of collaborations and things where it's just like, how can we keep this going? Because we might be able to do some acoustic stuff on patios, but for the most part, festivals are gone, at least till the end of summer. There's a lot of other outlets that people are still going to be stir crazy. They can't have graduation parties. They can't go out. They can't do a lot of, summer festivals is that limited window, so it's going to be interesting to see how we can sustain this to keep this moving forward. And Live Fest doing stuff like this just brings attention to not only the sustained bands, but the up and coming bands, and it just kind of cross pollinates all that stuff. And I think what you guys are doing is huge, because that's going to help keep the consistency of viewership and support. And eventually when this opens up, I'm hoping everyone's going to go out and see all these new people that they've discovered.
Well, Matt, what were you saying about it when you were talking about your gaming, that you just stopped looking at the eyeballs? And I think that's important for everybody now, because they are dipping, and then they've dipped almost half of where they were. So I think it's important for people. Matt can elaborate on it. What we need to do now, really.
Yeah, it's just something from my experience. I've just been live streaming just video gaming and stuff for a lot of years, just as a hobby. And when I first started out, it was a lot of focus on, like, how do I become a streamer? How do I, do this the best for the audience and everything? And then I just started realizing that I wasn't enjoying it because I was focusing on it too much. And then I just kind of brought myself back down to just do what you're doing, do what you're here to do. And I turned off the viewer count. I've never looked at it since. Sometimes I never have that many people watching anyways, but I've made some good friends doing it. But, I never look at it. I never think about the numbers. I'm just here doing what I do to enjoy it. And that's, as far as my experience with live streaming is, you might have, 5 or 6 viewers as a number. You might have 20, 30, 100, but you might have 1,000 of them actually pass through in a 2-hour period. And you never realize that because I think, somebody pointed out earlier, we had a total of 50,000 views, I think, on that stream overall, but we never broke 420-ish at any given time. But you're always circulating through. There's always people clicking on it. There's always people there for a half hour, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 4 hours. So it's just something you gotta, shut that out and just enjoy yourself.
I've played for the bar staff at a lot of restaurants, so I don't care about the numbers either.
Totally. And, I said even after things start to get back to normal, this is now something that I think I'm going to incorporate into something, either monthly or bi-monthly or whatever, for people who don't live in the area or people who don't necessarily go out at 8 o'clock at night because they just don't, but they'll watch from their house, they'll watch from their living room or their bedroom or whatever, I think when I started doing this, I kind of said what Matt just said, and I'll reiterate, it wasn't about trying to get 500 people to watch. It was about just being us as creators of music, to keep our strengths going, to keep our talents, moving, and to bring music to whoever wants to listen to it. So as much as we all love good, high viewership and everything, and people have been really gracious with tips and everything, it won't last. And I think we all kind of knew that from the very beginning, that this isn't something that was going to keep going and going and going. But I think we should all still do it anyway. I think that it's good for people to see, especially people who aren't quite ready to venture out yet. And I think it's good for our own mental health. So I'm going to still do it regardless.
Yeah, and pretty much every square on this panel right now has a different genre, has a different niche. And I was talking with Brian Kovacs yesterday or whatever it was, that we were talking about how it's kind of dipped down, but it's also been, we're kind of refining our niche. We're finding the people that love country and that love our acoustic folk and that love 80s stuff and that love, I feel like we expanded, we got this big viewership, and then half the crap left, we kind of flushed the turds, and the people that actually connect with what we're doing, because like Brian, man, I love his sets. Like I'm now totally nerding out at the weird stuff that he does. That's the stuff I listen to when I'm not playing. And now I feel like even though the numbers have dwindled, we're really refining like our fan base or our group, that the music we love are connecting to the same, the group of people. I like Tears for Fears, and like that's not a huge like crowd pleaser. For us, we're a party band, so we're never going to play Tears for Fears. But I love watching Brian's set or Gina's set because they do this really cool Counting Crows or whatever it is. It's just stuff that's outside of our realm that I love to listen to when I'm not playing. So I think that once we start going back, even though the viewership is going down, we've really solidified kind of a more niche fan base that hopefully can follow us when we're out playing live again.
Right.
This is absolutely something that I've definitely found my tribe, as I would say, the people who just genuinely appreciate what it is that I do. I mean, for a while there, I got lost in the shuffle of like, well, maybe I just need to be doing requests and doing this and doing that and trying all these different things. And finally, I just came around to like, you know what? I'm going to do my thing and take this opportunity to find people. And that has happened. And so this is a permanent thing for me. Like, I mean, I do, daytime shows. So no matter what, I'm planning on continuing doing my PMs on my Tuesdays, Thursdays, because the people that have come into the room are there all the time. And I'm so immensely grateful for those people. And there's this great rapport. I mean, I've the connection with the audience on this level for me personally has.
Internet doesn't work.
Right at the most important part, Brian. What's up?
I was gonna say something really poignant.
I gotta go, guys.
Bro, like Brian.
Here's our podcast.
Matt, fix it.
He's broken.
I actually wanted to
sorry,
ask.
I'm losing you guys.
I wanted to ask the sound crew: was this more or less stressful than a live fest? I mean, I know it was the first time, but was it like the whole like transitioning? Was it less stressful?
I'd say less, but Matt might say different.
I would only say more because when you're doing audio for a fest, I mean, we've been doing it for years, and it's just something, you know, when you do hundreds of these fests, like all of them are different. There's always curveballs, but you get in a routine and you set up the same, you know, sound rig, or at least same group of sound rigs the way we have them put together. You kind of know the setup, and with this, it's like you never know what's going to come at you. Every video gig that we do with the streaming stuff, it's all different. So you're just kind of like, you go into it and you're like, your heart's kind of racing at the beginning, but once you get in a groove, it falls into place. I think by the end of the evening, we're all just cracking jokes and having fun with it, and it got smooth, but definitely nervous on the front end of it.
I will say it's nice not having to pack up any gear.
Right.
Not
Yeah, I
that I
would say
ever
it's,
do.
it's
I'm a
more so
singer.
nice not to have someone like the guitar player's, you know, wife come up and be like, I can't hear my husband. You know, it's kind of
Said that the
son's
entire
not
time.
loud enough.
That's not. My wife said that the entire time I was playing. I can't hear you. And
Next time. We'll give you a little
Hey,
boost.
what did you guys have to eat all day, since you were sitting in front of your computers and stuff for 15 hours total?
A massive amount of pizza.
Oh.
Like,
What I heard.
Brian ordered a lot of pizza for us, and it was great.
That's the dream.
You guys ate?
Yeah. We had to make it feel like a true
It was
fest.
literally
We
just
couldn't
like a
have
festival.
Yeah.
Let's get some pizzas and eat it.
Was
It's
there a
better
porta
than
potty
Domino's.
outside?
Can't complain.
Yeah,
the
we
whiskey
got some
might get better.
Nancy's, I think.
Nancy's pizza is good.
Yeah.
All right. We are now at an hour and a half. Wow. You guys are amazing. I am going to do that Huntley Fall Fest thing one more time. Don't forget, September 25th, 26th, 27th. We are planning on going forward with this fest. Bryant is keeping us up to date, and especially all of you guys up to date on if anything changes. Some of you guys are playing our stage, and also we're looking at adding maybe another day on. So we'll figure that. He's like, no, don't tell anybody.
Hey, Eric and I don't have a
I
slot
said,
yet. We need that extra day.
$20.
Does anyone know who books
That's all,
that?
$20.
Oh, that's right. $20. That's right.
We're in.
I'd love to have everybody and do a whole week. That would be, I mean, seriously, wouldn't that be the dream, to do a whole week long fest? I mean, have everybody from this lineup. I would love to do
What
it.
would you call it?
Yeah.
What's that?
Lollapalooza Huntley? What would you call it?
Whatever you want, Scott, as long as you
Huntley
show up.
Palooza.
Huntley Palooza. I like that one, Gerald.
Just don't call it Tricky Testicle Festival.
Oh,
Wow.
Burning Illinois. Oh.
Oh boy.
Burning Illinois.
Too soon.
That was
Instead of Burning
solid.
Man.
That one was good.
Too soon.
Too soon? Sorry.
Chicago musicians all week.
Eric, I think you should organize a cover band jam night with all the people on the screen. That would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, Richard
Good
Garcia
idea.
came into my show last night, and Ani, who is one of the greatest, Ani, I'm sure she's watching right now. Big props to Ani. Give it up for Ani over there. So she's been talking, trying to get Richard. We're gonna figure something out when this is all over and we can all get back into the bars. We'll do I used to do an acoustic jam night, and
The best.
many of these people, yeah, we used to go every Tuesday at America's Bar in Hoffman Estates. So we're gonna do a big reunion once this is all over, and I want all you guys there. It'll be great.
Cool.
Everybody comes. It's an
Oh,
open
that's fun.
jam. You just get up and play whatever you want, and everybody collaborates, and it's kind of like just spur of the moment. You know this song, you know this. Everybody gets up and just has fun.
Awesome.
Anybody want to do a live stage karaoke with me? Silence. Crickets.
Well, right
I love
now.
the crickets, you
I
guys.
got your back, Jim.
Thanks, sir.
You just might not be
Appreciate
able
it,
to see
man.
my face because we're gonna have the same lighting as my stream the other day.
Perfect.
Totally off the
Perfect.
subject. I'd love to see Pino and Kevin Molesky do something together. I think that would be like sick. You guys
agree.
both, I mean, acoustics, you guys are just, you blow my mind when I watch your show. Seriously. You guys are so good.
I had the opportunity to watch Kevin as well on Saturday, and he blew me away for sure. I'm definitely a new fan. I'm a new fan of all of you guys, actually. I'm really honored to be like in these squares with you all. It's crazy, but yeah, it was great, man. I love your stuff. So I'm definitely geeking out on Kevin right now.
Kevin, I just want to point something out. He's not lying because he and I talked since the show, and he told me that he loved your show on Saturdays. So.
Yeah,
that feeling is entirely mutual. So I mean, we need to hug this one up, you know. I think I think that would be wonderful. Out of anything that we've seen through this whole pandemic, I think I've said this like over and over again. It's just the true camaraderie of music it is not a ball game. It's not who's better player, because we all know that like everybody knows Victor Wooten's the best bass player in the world. but truthfully, this whole pandemic has really brought out some really interesting joy in the musicians and camaraderie that we may not have had before. You know, you guys, I know like a lot of you do a lot of covers and stuff like that, and I'm the sad bastard songwriter, you know, and that's okay, you know, but so yeah, I just think it's really cool though. I'm looking forward to hearing all of you again in a live setting, in your setting, in our settings, like what we feel good doing, and not like so much as like an NPR radio studio setting. Right. So but yeah, for sure. And Pino, if you'll oblige, I would absolutely love to collaborate with you. I think it'd be wonderful. So awesome. I'm game for that one in a minute, dude. So
cool. I got percussion on that one for sure. I got you guys covered for sure.
I've got shitty rhythm guitar. That's me.
Herman only knows like 2 of my albums. Those are the only ones he's been on.
I know 3. I know 3 albums. I was on 2. I know 3.
Fair enough. Fair. No, absolutely. Awesome. But God bless you all. And you know, I have to rock and roll. But Pino, please reach out. I'm dead serious.
Cool.
Let's
cool.
Hang out when it's not legal.
Yeah.
I do want to do another big shout out to all the girls, man. The girls stole Live Fest, and rightfully so. Fair, right? Jen, your show was amazing. You know, Courtney, you know how I feel about you. Gina, amazing. Kate, seriously. Ral, oh wait, what? Tamara. No, seriously though, I was just blown away. All the ladies were just like boom, 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 boom. Just killed it. Great job, ladies.
Yeah, a lot of talent in Chicago, man.
Oh yeah, you guys are great. Proud to be part of this whole thing. So yeah, I wish you all the best. I'm gonna go give the little girls a hug and a kiss goodnight before they actually super pass out. So I love you all. Hopefully I can be part of the next one, maybe the real one. Talk to you all.
Hell yeah, Kev.
Hi, Kev.
All right.
Kevin, have a good
night.
Night.
Man.
Bye, guys.
Kevin.
Peace.
Take it easy, Kev.
All right.
It's the same. Every time I do one of these, I go 2 hours longer than I wanted to. my wife gives me death glares because I'm like, I'll be 20 minutes, babe. I'll be 20 minutes. But it's amazing. Thank you guys. Thank you, Hall Fest. I just said Hall Fest, so that's what I got going on.
Which one's that?
Funny Hall Fest.
That's the next Zoom call.
Yes. That one.
You guys,
do anyone know who books this festival?
It's in my hallway.
It's just so cool. It's cool. We've been doing this for 18 fucking years. We've been doing this a long time, and there's a lot of new faces, a lot of old faces. We started up with guys like Richie, and they gave us a lot of starts and a lot of opportunities, and we've worked together, you know, recently with a lot of you guys, and we've been playing Huntley Fall Fest since pretty much the beginning. We played on a semi-trailer. I came from a wedding in a tuxedo and hit my head because the stage was so small. And it's just cool to see everyone kind of blossom together. And this is just, I'm very lucky to be doing this for as long as I have. And it's because of, you know, Richie booking fests and, you know, Fall Fest and Jeff, who does, you know, McHenry Fiesta Days and a lot of other festivals. We're just super happy to be a part of it. So thank you guys for all donating your time for this. We're still working on it. It's in its infancy, so we're trying to be as transparent as possible. We genuinely are not taking any money. We're giving it all back to you guys and anyone else that needs it. So please, like Carrie said earlier, nominate someone, because most of us are too proud to ask for help. I would definitely never ask for help. I'm assuming there's other people that need it more. So nominate other people so that we can help them out. And thank you guys again for helping us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for
Thanks,
putting
Jim.
it together.
Thank you, man.
Thanks, Jim.
And I got to say thank you to all the fans that not only showed up for 13 and a half hours on Saturday,
yes,
but all the fans that hang out at your shows, your live streams. When I'm on there, I'm always interactive with everybody, and it's just fun to see those little individual conversations go on and be part of something that we can't be part of physically. Be there.
Everybody who donated too. I mean, I still can't believe what we raised. That was awesome in 13 hours. That's incredible.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's done. People are watching the streams and still donating. So the money, we're going to get to probably 12,000, I'm sure.
A lot of people are asking when the next one is. So hopefully you guys will do that, whether I'm involved or not. Wait, what?
And you guys donated too, didn't you? Said Huntley Fall Fest donated too. I saw that.
So I'm
Yeah,
going to put
awesome.
Bryant on the spot because
Wow,
he probably won't say what he did, but I'm going to put Bryant on the spot. Not only did he donate to the Chicagoland Musicians Unite Fund in quite a substantial amount, but he also paid for Soundworks and worked with those guys to bring this thing together. So, you know, Bryant, you did a great job, and love you for it, man. Your vision of Huntley Fall Fest and your vision of Live Fest is amazing.
Well, let's do another one.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
We can raise more money. I mean, could you imagine how much money we would have had on a pouring rain day that was Sunday?
It was kind of funny,
Like
Brian.
the opposite of a real fest.
At the shop.
What's that, Dan?
Yeah, I was
It's
saying,
the
you and I were
opposite of a
talking
real
about
fest.
that. It was like, you know, a normal, the day we had Saturday, that would have been a perfect outdoor festival day.
Right.
Brian and I were like, oh shit, like this would have been a perfect outdoor day, but it kind of sucks for today being virtual. So
And
you
then
know,
the
pray
next
for
one-
rain on the
days
next
after
one, the
that,
first
it's
time
raining.
ever for a festival, pray for the rain to come. Like,
I'll have my tarps
You-
ready.
You know the world is messed up when Modern Day Romeos has a dry night. Jim, remember last year, it was dry for you guys, and the next 2 days, pouring rain floods the entire park. So something's wrong with the world.
I felt like I was watching like a streamathon, like back in the day when you would watch Jerry's Kids, you know, like the And my mom's name is Jerry. So, but I'm just saying, like, it was cool. It was like I felt like I was watching a streamathon, but it was with everybody that I knew, at least most of the people that I met, some people I haven't, but that was the cool thing and to be a part of it. So
That's what we got to do. Get Jim and Bryant in tuxes and cut to them in between acts. Great.
That's
Hey, man.
amazing.
that's why I say you
I
guys
want
gotta
it.
have a host in between acts.
Absolutely.
You know,
Just have Brian be there. Brian's kids.
Well, Jackson always introduces you, but Ral, you've got the voice, and Herman, you two got the voices for the stage. I mean, Ral, you sound like a TV host. I mean, you'd be perfect.
I've been telling everybody this. Nobody will hire me. I don't know.
Well, I'm hiring you now.
I'm fine with that.
All right.
It's
I
going to
did
be
ask-
socially appropriate for everybody to be at the studio, so everybody's invited. And then maybe at Fall Fest, I'll have everybody there, and we'll have a VIP tent for you guys. So maybe have a reunion sometime.
yeah.
That would be amazing.
Oh,
right.
anybody on this string is always welcome on Hillbilly Rockstar stage anytime. I mean
Ditto.
that.
Same.
For sure.
Awesome.
Thank you
I
guys.
appreciate everyone's time tonight. It's a Jim and Justin show taking over another 45 minutes. So we appreciate that. Again, Huntley Fall Fest, September 25th, 26th, 27th, Huntley Park District grounds, brought to you by First National Bank of Omaha. So thank you to all of our sponsors, all our vendors, all of our amazing artists that joined us at Live Fest, as well as at Huntley Fall Fest every year that we had it. And we just appreciate you guys and look forward to seeing your live streams going forward. Don't forget, man, hit us up if you want to bring it to JPM and drop a co-host to any of your shows. Go ahead. We're happy to do that. And whatever you guys need, just let me know. All right.
Awesome.
Thank
Yeah, I'll
you.
chime in too with Soundworks. Anything
And
else
Jim, can you
guys
just
need
share
with the-
where they can go to do the donation again for those that are still watching, where they can go to find it and GoFundMe?
Yeah, if you pull up GoFundMe, we're trying to, I think Tisa made a shorter link, but I have no idea what it is because that's not my thing. But if you just pull up GoFundMe and search Chicagoland Musicians Unite, it's the only thing that pops up. And you can donate there. Obviously, we're working on the nonprofits. Once we get an EIN, if you have a company or if you want a tax write-off, we'll be able to do that as well. So I'm hoping that this kind of evolves into something bigger where we can help a lot more people. We're pretty much doing increments of $300 right now to help as many people as possible. So that's at least groceries for a week or whatever. But hopefully we can get a lot more in so that we can take care of people, not only now, but just in the future. We can kind of expand the services, not just money, but just general, Richie has been doing this for 1,000 years and he knows more than all of us combined as far as like how to market, how to success, how to book, how to package yourself, how to put all that together. So if we can somehow, offer that for up and coming artists just to kind of level the playing field for everybody, that would be huge.
Awesome. And they can also go to the Facebook page that you put together, Chicagoland Musicians Unite, and you'll have links to all that as well, right?
Yeah. We have an application on the top page. We pinned it, I believe. So either if you're going through hardships, no judgment, everything is anonymous. You can click on that application or you can nominate someone else. And we're going to take all those and help as many people as possible.
And that's not just musicians, that's like sound engineers or anybody.
Anybody full-time that's involved in the music scene, we want to help out.
That's fantastic. Cool, man. All right. Love you guys. Appreciate you.
Thank
Thank
Jim.
you for being here.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Brian.
Brian.
Jim.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you, Bryant.
Jim.
Love you all.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Have a great night, everybody.
Thank you,
Good night,
guys.
everybody.
Love, 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 love.
That's all, folks.
Love, love.
Good night.
What are we doing for an encore?
Jaeger bombs.
There you go.
God. All right, bye,
Bring out
guys.
the whiskey.
Take it easy, everybody.
Later.
Adios.
Good night.
Hey, why am I still on here?
What's up, buddy? You and me, we're it. We're the last ones.
Wait, Ralph's here.
Wait.
Wow, but he's off video. He's not on video.
It's because he's got no pants on.
Hold on. Here I am. I'm trying to turn the damn thing off. I couldn't get it off.
Ralph, man,
That's
you
what
and your
she
brother,
said.
man, I'm telling you, you guys blew my mind the other day, man.
Hey, thank
So
you, man.
good.
Thanks.
So
It was
good.
fun.
I
I just want to let you
forgot
guys
how
know
talented you fuckers are.
hey, we're still live, by the way. Just so you guys know.
Oh, sorry. Shit.
That's all right. All those other musicians and artists, they all left the live feed, and here we are, just chilling, hanging.
Yeah, we're just,
Oh, well.
hey,
I hope
Wait,
nobody's
well, you know what
watching
just
this.
happened on the day that we were doing the show? Eric and I, we had people watching their phones and said, no, you're not on yet. And it turns out we're standing there for a minute.
Yeah, it was
It happens.
pretty
What are you going to do?
That's pretty funny.
So many great acts. It really was an honor to be a part
Everybody
of it.
was awesome. Yeah, I thought we were on our own little thing here for a second, and then he announces we're live. Okay.
Oops.
That's all right. No worries, man. All right,
Jim,
you guys
thanks for
have a
all
great
that you
night.
do, brother. I mean it. Thank you. We appreciate you. And if anyone's still watching, donate for
Yes.
my buddy Jim over here.
That's right.
I'm backwards on the camera. There it is.
Get in on those
Yeah.
raffles. They're awesome.
Appreciate you guys so
All right,
much.
tell
Thank
Becky
you.
we said hello.
Good to the music scene. So take care of
Love
Jim.
you guys.
Becky.
All right, love you guys. Have a good
Take
one.
care, Ralph. Peace.
Yeah, hey, Scott, see you tomorrow.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, man. See you.